Hey folks, we saw Black Panther earlier today. Quite liked it. I thought it was very good. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to actually look real quick and find out the names of the actors so that I can actually mention people's names when I talk about who I liked. So, by the magic of editing, that's going to have happened now. I've got their names. There will not be any spoilers, at least not unless I say spoilers in advance. That will be at the end of the video. But I have no plans. Real quick, hold on. It's mirrored. Un momento. I was wrong. It's not mirrored. Just an idiot. Anyways, it was a great time. I'm surprised. Usually when we go to movie theaters, everybody talks the entire time. People check their cell phones, their smartwatches, which I'm not actually wearing, but it's near the wrist. Just there's so much noise. There was somebody there that was breathing really, really loud, but I mean, you gotta breathe to live, so what can you do? I wasn't gonna tell them to stop breathing. It was 2 hours long, I guess. That seems to be what people were saying. I'm just gonna scroll up real quick, see if IMDb mentions it to me. Oh my god, the web page for IMDb right now, almost unusable. It is atrocious. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take a screenshot, and we're gonna include it in the video, because holy crap. Just look at that. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna put it up here or just in front of me, but how am I supposed to read anything with it like that? But yeah, my understanding was it was about two hours long. I haven't followed any of the drama or anything like that with it. Don't even care. Doesn't matter to me at all. I don't get involved in the Twitter hubbubs. I don't get involved in Facebook. I don't get involved anywhere. I'm just here to talk about. I'm just your average moviegoer. Going to tell you how I felt about it. Really liked it. I thought the casting was amazing. Everyone was perfect, I think. I'm trying to think if anyone jumped out at me as not fitting the role. No. Like, and again, I'm going to be glancing up every once in a while just to see the names. Matter of fact, no, we're going to move it down just so it feels more natural. If you've ever watched YouTube videos of actual professionals, they actually have these glass screens that project their notes up so that they can look straight into the camera and still see the stuff. I'm not that cool, so I'm going to be looking slightly down. Chadwick Boseman, T'Challa, Black Panther. The guy who plays him, amazing. His voice, astounding. He could have narrated the entire movie. I would have been okay with that. I would love to meet him. Like, he seems so cool. You can actually tell when you watch the movie, he seems so confident in every scene. It's just like he knows how cool he is. He's top tier. Is there anyone? Maybe Thor Ragnarok's Chris Hemsworth is up there in terms of like my current favorite Marvel characters. And maybe it's just that I'm so excited about this that I'm not thinking about other characters that really jumped out at me. I'll have to reflect on that thought, because this is, again, I'm just sort of off the cuff right now. But wow, I really like Black Panther. If he's in a bunch of movies from beyond here, a bunch of Marvel movies, that's great. And because Disney owns them, there's going to be Marvel movies until I'm 80. So Michael B. Jordan was the titular villain. Killmonger, Eric Killmonger. I don't think it's a spoiler because A, you probably don't know who Killmonger is, and B, it's in the IMDb and he's all over the advertisements and stuff like that. He's amazing. His character was great. I loved every second of it. The sister, who am I gonna be able to figure out who that was? The pictures I'm looking at are really small, so I am sorry. I do not know what her name was, or is still. She's alive. She's great. Yeah, Black Panther's sister was really cool. I mean, Forrest Whitaker is Forrest Whitaker. He was great. Martin Freeman, he was great. Who else we got here? The Lupita, I think, is Nakia is. Wait, hold on. I might be getting. Let me get bigger pictures here. She was great. Lupita was great. Again, I'm probably not pronouncing people's names right, but if you don't have the world's most Martin Freeman-y of names, I'm probably gonna get it wrong. Letitia was the sister. She was fantastic. I think if you haven't seen it yet and you see it, you're gonna really like her. I'm already hoping that she's in a lot of other stuff. She played the character of, like, she reminded me a lot of Oracle, Batgirl, once she's in a wheelchair, except Letitia's not in a wheelchair. But it's the same basic character, the sort of tech genius and she hits it out of the park. I'm trying to find, and I'm gonna feel really bad if I don't find her. I'm trying to find the uh, Deny, yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. She's the one that plays the gal who plays the general. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, getting these names right. She's fantastic. Like it was, I her character and T'Challa were both the characters that I really enjoyed. I every every minute with her on scene was just so funny. I didn't realize Andy Serkis was in this until the credits. I was just watching the character he plays, and I was like, this guy looks so familiar. And then I realized, well, I didn't realize. The credits told me that it was Andy Serkis, and I went, oh crap, I've never seen him when he's not a monkey or Gollum. He's a very, if you don't know, which you probably do if you watch movies, but Andy Serkis is like the world's most decorated motion capture actor. I would assume that's what people would what people would call it. I don't know if what his actual technical, I mean, he's an actor, period, but I just don't know what his technical skill set is. I mean, obviously, I mean, he was even in Age of Ultron and playing the same character, and I did not realize it. But just to give you some sort of, if you aren't somebody who follows him, I mean, he's Caesar in Planet of the Apes. He was Snoke in Star Wars Last Jedi and whatever the first Star Wars was called, The Force Awakens. And yeah, he was Gollum and just a ton of other characters that you've either seen firsthand or in some sort of credits or something like that. Apparently, he was Baloo in the upcoming movie Mowgli, which doesn't surprise me. He's pretty much your go-to if you want somebody who can really put on a performance. It's yeah, just seems like a really cool guy, really talented. The the scenery was pretty cool. I liked all the sort of the, I think the way it was described online by somebody who was discussing all the different art styles stuff they used was techno African, something like that. It was neat. I really like the combinations. Everything looked really cool. Everyone was dressed much better than I ever have been, and I definitely on more than one occasion thought, oh, I want to wear that. I couldn't do any of it justice, but I thought it all looked really neat. The weapons are all really cool. A lot of the ways they used the weapons were very interesting to me. There's a particular scene where something was done that I'll discuss in the second half of this video shortly. I'm almost done. That really tickled me. I thought it was really clever, and I would have never considered it. Not that if I consider something it's not clever, but you get my point. I don't know if I mentioned it yet. The story was just fine. Nothing really jumped out at me as a problem. I really enjoyed it. I was mostly engaged in the movie. Occasionally I would get taken out, not by the movie itself, but just by the fact that I was kind of shocked that our movie theater actually wasn't talking the entire time, because that's usually what happens to us. The soundtrack is really good. If that's available on Google Music, gotta definitely download that. I was enjoying every little bit of it. I don't really, generally when I really like something, I don't usually delve into negatives. Honestly, the one I have is the tiniest of tiny things, which was that during the action scenes, there was a bit too much shaky cam, and that was just, I mean, that's fine. The only reason it bothered me is just because the suits, the designs and stuff were all so great. I mean, this movie proved that you can have a casino scene and not have it be boring filler that serves no purpose. So that's cool. Yeah. If you haven't seen it yet, which is unlikely because I believe it's coming up on like $170 million on the opening weekend, maybe even higher than that now, go see it. I think you'll like it. It's definitely, if it's not in my I like it category, it's definitely my I love it. It's somewhere in there. Like it's teetering on the edge, and I feel like if I don't love this movie, I probably don't really love any movies that have come out recently. So I guess I'm gonna say yeah, it's in the full green. Nothing about it, like, it was great. Nothing about it jumped out at me as anything less than, if I had to go see movies all the time, if they could be this quality, then I would be perfectly happy to see films. Although Disney, you're about to do your own downloading service, sort of like Netflix. What you should do, this is just coming from me. Oh, God, autofocus is back on. Anyways, what you should do is you should let me pay twice as much as a movie ticket, maybe less if you want to be really generous, and let me watch movies at home when they release, because then I can eat my own food. I never have to worry about anybody talking during the film. I can see it on my own time. I don't have to go across Glendale, which is actually pretty dangerous generally, although we walk, so it's a little bit safer. It's all positives, and you would get the money directly. Yeah. Please, Disney. Please, for all the people like me who don't like to go outside. Please. Now, with that out of the way, I'm going to do a little washy here. We're going into the spoiler section. It's going to be extremely short. I have very little to talk about that's spoiler-wise, but might as well get it out of the way, you know? Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and that was in reverse, but that's fine. That's how fingers work sometimes. Here we go. The thing I mentioned earlier was that I really liked Killmonger because he sort of represented something I've been talking about recently, which was that these sort of villain characters, these people that we see that terrify us, that we end up usually punishing or demonizing, are creations of our own doing. And even now, I'm not going to tell you what they did to create Killmonger, but it's something that they come to terms with during the movie. And I really enjoyed it because it's an important message that people need to understand, is that pretty much, when you get down to brass tacks, when something sad happens, it's a failure of everybody. There ultimately is an actor, there is ultimately somebody or some force that acts out and causes the damage. But that thing is predicated by action and inaction by the world at large. It's as true with climate change as it is with any sort of tragedy that happens. And yeah, this movie touches on that. And T'Challa, it's something he just keeps talking about, is that all of the bad that is befalling him and the people around him is because of these actions and inactions, quite literally, both of these things, that all pave the way to create something much worse than the initial incident would have been. And I like it because it's not usually, Marvel movies, as lovely as they are, they're usually not trying to, when they do have a message, it usually kind of feels a little ham-fisted and lazy, but I thought this one was lovely. It's spot on. The topic is not lovely necessarily, but the fact that it presents that message. The other message it presents is giving back to your community and trying to foster an environment that doesn't create these people. And by these people, I mean, you know, murderers, villains, that sort of thing. But it's ironic or amusing something, but it's a public company, so there's no way in heck that Disney's going to spend any of the money they make from this movie actually doing the thing that the hero in the movie does. And that's, we'll talk about it one of these other days in a non kind of hackneyed review video. But yeah, I thought that was great. I really liked Killmonger. I was basically, as much as you can be with a movie, I was heartbroken when he died, because for me, I thought it would be a great message to show, like, he's done these terrible things, but he's clearly a driven person. He's somebody who can get things done, although currently terrible things. But the thing is that those terrible things have already happened, and I thought it would have been interesting. And this is something that came up before with another series, another Marvel series, but it would have been really cool if he had basically been forced to atone for what he had done, to go and do greater good than the evil he had done to people. Although I guess getting help by a guy named Killmonger would be very awkward. Like, what's your name, sir? Thank you for bringing me some stuff. He's like, oh, I'm Killmonger. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, and Michael B. Jordan, his performance is just so good that, again, him being dead, you're like, oh, but you were so good. I wouldn't mind you popping back up. The clever use of weaponry that I was thinking of earlier. There was this fantastic scene with the general, who again, she's easily my second favorite character in the movie. When you see it, you'll understand why. Like, she's fantastic, but she's getting shot at by these bad guys while they're in a bulletproof car, and she just looks at the girl driving the car and she says, I think she's a princess, but she's looking at the driver and she says, these primitives and their firearms. And the other gal's kind of like, yeah, it sucks, but at least we have bulletproof armor. And as she's, sort of having this moment, the side window's coming down, and it's just like, oh, what are you doing? And then she gets out of the car while being shot at, sticks a spear through the roof, and then takes her other spear. And these things are made of vibranium, so they're effectively indestructible, right? And she hurls it through the window of the car that they're chasing. It goes through the front window. I believe it goes through the hood, but I don't recall. At any rate, it sticks into the ground like a pike. And when the car hits it, it just instantly stops because none of the metal inside of that car is going to be strong enough to break through the vibranium spear. And you can make some argument about the concrete should have probably broken or something, but I don't care. It was cool. I liked it. I was like, oh, and I was actually kind of hoping that later in the movie at some point that he would just that T'Challa would reference like, oh, you think I'm terrifying? She'll kill you. And she stole a lot of scenes for me. I thought she was really cool, and I hope, if beyond the Marvel stuff, I do hope she gets to do other films. I don't know. She might already be acting in tons of stuff. I barely watch movies, so, but she just the gravitas and everything was really great. What else was I gonna mention? We caught the fact of he's created by the ills of the world, or rather the ills of certain characters in the movie. He being Killmonger. We covered the spear. Crap. I feel like there was something else. Basically, the end fight scenes were cool. The shaky cam got me a little bit, but it was mostly just because I was having so much fun with the movie that I wanted to be able to drink in every little bit that I could. So any little effect with the camera that was taking away from that made me grumpy. But not grumpy enough to have any problems with the film. I have no idea how long this is, this video. I don't see anything, so I'm going to do some minor editing and then put this up. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's a good time.